Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable, coming to you live from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of Golden Knights country. That's right, baby. 1-0. We took a lead over, who did we play? Edmonton.
Yeah.
In round 2, we are ready to rock and roll. Thank you for joining the Roundtable. I am Aaron Phillips, the man, Rick Upchurch, one of the greatest Denver Broncos ever to lace them up. And to his right, the mouth, not of the South, but of the North in Vegas, Mr. George Miklos. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Alive and kicking, man. You talk fast, man.
You think I've done this at least once or twice?
At least once or twice.
At least once or twice.
I'm doing good. You mentioned the Golden Knights. Congratulations to them. And my NBA Finals is taking shape.
Which is?
Nuggets, Celtics. Although the Celtics hit a speed bump the other night, but we'll be okay.
Well, they evened
They're
the
still
series.
they're favored.
Yeah. It's 1-1, so
Yeah.
they've evened it.
Yeah. So good.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Good. How's the knee, by the way?
Very good. I'm doing okay. It's just I got stuck in traffic today when you're sitting there for an hour and it's bad to just.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, George. Tell us anything.
Other than that, though, hey, I can't tell.
If we
you.
could do a
We've
sound
all
drop
had
of
our
a
share
baby
of
going, wow,
injuries.
wow, that would be pretty good right there.
We've all had our share of injuries, sports injuries.
So that
and
means,
accidents.
so now with one knee, we're going to have to start calling you, we're going to have to create a new dance called the mouth shuffle.
That's right.
Mr. Upchurch.
Right.
The Georgie Hop or something
Convenient,
like
right,
that.
right.
Mr. Upchurch,
Yes,
looking
sir.
good and suave as always.
Yeah,
How's your
thank
week?
you. My week was great. Had a great time. You know, thank you guys so very much for coming this weekend to Mom's homegoing.
Hey.
And our family appreciates you guys. You guys, we love you so very much. And we sent Mom on home, man, and that whole deal.
That's
so
right.
now we can move on with our lives. But let me tell you guys, it's been great. Went to a Rotary meeting this morning, man. Met a lot of people.
Do they have a phone there?
Everybody
Oh God, here we go.
everybody had a push button. No rotaries.
Right.
Wrong rotary, big dog.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Figures,
Rotary-
boys.
They don't make
I'm a
noise.
Kiwanian. What do I know about Rotary?
Boys, you're always going to the left,
I
man.
am, man. I'm
Doggone
so
it.
leftist.
But we love you. But we love
Well,
you.
that's good. I hope so. Somebody has to.
Right.
I want to say something on Saturday night when we went to support you and Don and the family. There was comments. I don't remember if your son said them or maybe it was something that Donna said about how Donna's mom with all the family branches and how big the family was.
Yes.
And so I turned to George in a moment of stupidity real quietly and I said, I wonder if Donna's mom knows that we're the weeds in the family as we're sitting here. Did I not say that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I had to, I'm just sitting there. It's just like this. The way she said it was beautiful. I mean, certainly all the grandchildren, the great grandchildren, reading the little pamphlet of how many great grandchildren and the depths. Total. I mean, I have goosebumps now. And I got to meet your son.
Yes.
We
Me
both
too.
did.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
good. We
We
met
had
your
fun.
son.
I met
Yeah.
a lot of folks there.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation.
Yeah, great
A lot of
folks.
fun. Yeah.
And you know, most of the folks that came out of town from out of town, and that was a good thing,
Yeah,
for them
absolutely.
to travel. And we're just thankful that everybody came. And once again, we all loved Mom, and she was just a loving person. She was the matriarch. And hey, man, that's what we all have, right? We all have one mother.
Right.
And man, when she's gone, boy,
Yep.
it leaves a big old hole in your heart. That's for
I'm sure your
Yeah.
mother-in-law
Yeah.
was happy that night, that day, because we were all having fun and reminiscing and meeting new people and talking.
That's right. That's right.
Celebrating her life.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, celebrating.
Well, November will be 23 years that I had to bury my mom. So I get
Yes, sir.
exactly what
Mine
you
was
said.
Yes, sir.
September of 2002.
2002.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, I said this to Donna, I was going through that photo album that was on the table,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And I'm looking and your Donna and then her sister, who I didn't get a chance to actually meet. I know she was there.
Joanne.
And then I looked at the picture of Mom.
Mhm.
You talk about triplets.
Yeah.
Man,
Yep.
the three of them looked Exactly alike.
Boy, you talking about a blueprint.
You're not
Total
right.
right.
blueprint.
Wow.
And most of them,
Be careful in how you're saying that.
I'm trying to. Is Donna in the chat room yet?
yeah, and
I'm picking my words carefully. I love you, Donna.
and most of them are saying we hope that we have her genes too.
Listen, we
So
should
that
all live to 100. Okay?
I don't know if I got a bad leg, man, and my neck is messed up and my mind is gone. I don't know if I want to hang around.
But let me ask you a question. If your mind is solid,
Yeah.
but maybe you have a little struggle walking around for whatever the reason, I mean, you play ball.
Right.
I mean, would you still want to, your mind is intact? I mean,
Sure. You certainly you want to see the sun come up and see the
and
sunset.
acknowledge it.
For sure. And acknowledge it.
Right.
That's, hello, how you doing?
We certainly say things like that when God, I hope I don't end up like that
Right.
or this and that, but you just, you take it
Well-
day by day.
Well, I've gone to too many senior homes, in my days
Sure,
in that hotel,
sure.
and I've had the opportunity to look and see and what happens, man, when you start to grow older.
Yeah.
And it's just called wear and tear, and our bodies start to break down. And that's what happened with Mom.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with her; she
Right.
was well,
Right.
but things just started
She had
breaking down on her, and that's how it works.
and I love the story about driving in the parking lot.
Oh my
All right.
goodness!
702-992-3207 is our number. Now, our guest tonight that we're waiting to connect, Mr. Ickey Woods, former running back of the Cincinnati Bengals, will hopefully be joining us because he has a cause with his ex-wife, as I read in
That's
the
right.
bio,
Mhm, mhm.
called the JavanteWoodsFoundation.org. It's all about asthma support for those who don't know. Ickey's son, Javante, obviously passed away from a severe asthma attack at home some 12 years ago. And since that time, they started a foundation, which you can check out at JavanteWoodsFoundation.org. They raise awareness, they raise funds. And also, I saw something on there that they also do a lot for
Organ donation.
organ donation
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Fundraising efforts. They have a cruise coming up in June, which I have information on. So we'll save a lot of that conversation for hopefully when Ickey is able to join us. We are waiting for him to join us. Billy, good evening. I see you there in the chat room. Billy Ball from Planet Harvard.
Hey,
Health.
Billy, what's up, girl? What's happening?
She
Yeah.
just friended me on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yay!
man, I know. Hey, what's up?
And by the way, Billy, just so you know, I understand you know that a box has arrived. The problem is John can't get to it because the parcel box is broken or something. So,
The pump done broke and the vandals took the handle.
oh,
Comedy
okay.
at its finest.
I was gonna say,
and I'm out of work.
They have ointment for that, by the way. Anyway, so hopefully Ickey will join us soon so we can have that conversation with him. But in the meantime, as I said, go to JavanteWoodsFoundation.org. Okay, it's a scroll right there. By the way, everybody that is watching now on the mobile app, you can't see the scroll as I'm saying this, of course. However, you can do that by the playback. You can watch if you get a chance to go on Facebook, either the WWDBTV studios or our YouTube channels and Facebook channels. Download the apps for anybody that needs to leave, of course. You can download WWDBTV to your Android, WWDBTV LV to your iPhone and Apple product. But maybe the easiest thing to do is just download the channel WWDBTV to Roku and not only watch this show and all the other shows that we've done, but the multitude of variety of shows. I'm trying to get away from plethora. He yells at me all the time.
Plethora.
Can you
You
spell
know,
it?
I've heard that word 600 times in the last 3 days.
You know what? If
Just
I had
for-
$1 though for every time,
just
we'd be
from
good
him,
shape. Just
probably.
from it, probably.
Well, my grandparents always said, don't use words you can't spell. Can you spell it?
P-L-E-T-H-O-R-A, mister.
There you go.
I have a degree in mathematics, but I can spell with the best of them.
Right.
S-P-E-L.
Watch
Right.
this.
Wait. Was that S-P-E-L-L or S-M-E-L-L?
Right, spell,
Dead.
it's all the same.
D-E-D.
Oh, you
Dead.
guys, man, are killing me.
Or like Cannonball Run 2, Sammy Davis and Dean Martin. That one scene where
What
it's
kind of country bumpkin?
nuts.
And that's okay. Every time
That
I
was
hear,
Ricky. You remember that one, right?
every time I hear the word Roku, I'm like,
Yeah.
karate and judo.
So there was something, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis in that movie. Dean Martin turns to Sammy Davis and says, you know what you are? You're small. SM all. Small. So that I got it got warm in here.
It
all of a
did.
sudden.
He really couldn't spell, huh?
Go
No.
nice making you sweat.
Well, that's from all that drinking.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
that drinking. God
Right,
bless him.
right.
By the way,
Ready burn up brain cells?
well,
Is that what he did?
But truth be, listen, the fact that Dean supposedly drank, huh?
Did you say that the people watching on the apps can't see that scroll?
I did. Did I say that?
That's what I thought you said.
Probably because isn't the app all about just the audio? Oh, it's updated now. They can watch visually on the app.
No, you're talking about just on the apps.
on the apps, they can only hear us.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Go back to
yeah,
sleep over there. What were we talking about? The deaf guy behind the board, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember.
Rosanna, Dan.
I don't even remember what that guy was talking about. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about this. We'll kind of get a little jump on this, the NFL draft.
Right.
We'll spend a few minutes talking about that because after all, the draft was here in Vegas. Oh, such a short year ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Biggest takeaways. I think to me, the biggest thing was some of the biggest news was before the draft just got started. Of course, Aaron Rodgers finally signed with the Jets.
Right.
And Lamar Jackson now signing his contract.
Yeah.
So give me your biggest takeaways, guys.
Again, any player, any quarterback, Lamar Jackson has that big contract, but I always think contracts like that should be reserved for quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
You
I hate to
know?
cut you off,
Cut
but
me
I see
off.
somebody's in the internet green room of the
Hey,
world.
is that the Ickey man?
Let's bring him up here right now. Joining us, Mr. Ickey Woods.
Hey man, I'm sorry, man. I'm running a little late. But
That's
better
all
late
right.
than
Just do
never,
it.
though,
Just do it.
guys. What's happening?
Just do the dance for us, baby. We'll forgive you, big dog.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Before we get started, Ickey, I have one favor to ask. Are you on your phone, sir?
I am.
Can you just turn it horizontally so we get a full picture on there?
There
we
you go.
All right. Now,
Look at that hand. We want to see that handsome face, big dog.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Right now. Well, thank you for joining us. We're just getting ready to start talking about a little bit of the draft, but we'll now reserve that until later on in the show so we can get your take as well. But more importantly, everybody, again, it is with honor and gratitude on behalf of George there on the end. Of course,
Hey. Be quiet.
Ickey Woods to the show, talking about, we'll put football on the back burner, but something that's near and dear to his heart called the Javonte Woods Foundation in honor of his son. Ickey, I'm going to thank you again, and what an honor it was to chat with you on the phone the other day. I can now say Ickey Woods, and I got Rick Upchurch. I'm like marking out like I have watched the Beatles now.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on your show, man. I really do appreciate it. Give me anytime I get an opportunity to talk about my son's foundation and the things that we're trying to do to help kids and adults with asthma and help them not go through the pain and suffering that we went through of losing a loved one. Anytime we can get that message out, it's always a great thing.
Okay, guys.
Absolutely, Ickey. It was an honor and a pleasure to be at your golf tournament and the parents' party. What a great time! I had a great time with you, man. And we're in a brotherhood, man. National Football League, man. And anytime we can reach out and help each other, man, with a cause and that deal, we should certainly do that. And I'm in your back pocket, baby boy. I think what you're doing is a great thing, bringing awareness, but also talking about your foundation and what you're doing.
Well, thank you. We definitely appreciate that. And any help that we can get to further the cause and, like I said, help families not go through the pain and suffering that we went through of losing a loved one to an asthma attack. It is a very, very deadly disease that a lot of people don't realize how deadly it is. I didn't until it took my son from me, and now we're doing the foundation to raise awareness and educate people on how serious and severe asthma really is.
Yes.
Hold on just a minute. Hey guys,
We'll get into you kind of describing what asthma is about. I just want to go over the landing page on the website, and it describes the following. Ickey and Chandra Woods lost their young 16-year-old son, Javonte, due to complications of an asthma attack. Due to their devastating loss, they found to be limited resources, education, and action available to those with asthma and their loved ones. How disheartening was it to you find at that time that there was this situation of limited resources and knowledge? I mean, you would think asthma's been around a long time, and you would think to not have resources available like you guys found out. How devastating was that to you that you really couldn't turn anywhere?
It was real devastating, and like I said, once that happened, we decided to start the foundation and start trying to get awareness out there and start trying to educate on how serious and severe asthma really is and the most important thing we're just trying to get across is that asthma can kill and asthma does kill. So everyone I know, when I was coming up, I had a little touch of asthma, suffered from that a little bit. And my whole thinking was, I take my inhaler and I'll be okay. And that's not the case. Once you have a severe asthma attack, the inhaler is no longer helpful. So you have to go in and get breathing treatment. So it's now that we're able to have a little bit of knowledge about it and able to talk about it and get the awareness and the education out there, it helps family understand what's going on with asthma and getting educated about it.
George? Hey, Ickey, just wanted to let you know, first of all, George the Mouth, thanks for being on the show. And I watched you play all those years there early in the 90s with Cincinnati. But has there been any progress in treatment for asthma in the last 10, 12 years since your son passed?
It hasn't been a lot of it's still the same treatment that they're using. They've tweaked it a little bit, tried to make it a little better, but it has not it has gotten a little better. So when I first started, 12 to 13 people a day was dying from asthma. Now it's down to 11, and hopefully we can keep reducing it and getting people more educated. And I think that's a big key is the educational part, is educating people on how serious and severe asthma really is. That's half the battle if they know how to approach an asthma attack, how to help the family member who's having an attack through it, then that's half the battle is won then. So education is key, and hopefully, if not find a cure, hopefully find a better way to treat it.
Right.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Now, forgive my ignorance or uneducated on asthma. Are you born with asthma, or do you acquire it through life?
Some people are born with asthma. Some asthmas are genetic, and some people just contract asthma. There's really no there's really nothing that says one day you wake up you don't have asthma, next day you wake up you may have it. And
Wow.
a lot of people who do have asthma, they have it young, and then they asthma kind of goes dormant on them, and they think they've grown out of it. But once you have asthma, you never grow out of asthma. That's the misconception. What happens is when you have asthma and you hadn't had an asthma episode for years and years and years,
right,
asthma has just went dormant, and you never know what may trigger your asthma attack to, or your asthma to come back. So if you had it when you was younger and you think you've grown out of it because you hadn't dealt with it for so long, you never grow out of it. It just goes dormant, and you never know what may trigger your asthma to come back.
Yeah, Ickey, did your mother or your father, did they have asthma and that whole deal? Because a lot of times with genetics and that whole deal, those type of diseases or ailments, what they do is they skip a generation, right?
Yeah.
They skip a generation, and then what they do is they'll hit our grandchildren or our great grandchildren. That who they'll do. So did your parents? Did they have any asthma?
Not that I know of. I know I suffered, and my ex-wife had a little touch of it too. So, but Javante was our only child who had it as bad as he had it. And we had two more children that had a touch of asthma, but it wasn't as severe as Javante. So, and my youngest son and my youngest daughter has a touch of it. Every now and again, they have to take a breathing treatment or something like that. But now that we've been through what we've been through, we know, if you had signs of it, to take your medicine. And I tell young kids all the time, even when you're feeling better or you think you're feeling good, still take your medicine as you should be taking it, because you never know what may trigger an attack. And once that attack is triggered, your regular rescue inhaler doesn't work. So, you have to go into something a little deeper to get your breathing under order.
Ickey, I know you're not a doctor unless you stayed at a Holiday Inn Select last night. However,
No, I didn't stay there, but I did stay at a Ickey Woods condominium, though.
so what I want to ask you is really along the lines of a little bit of a medical question, which is why I wanted to put the disclaimer out there.
Right.
What are the symptoms that you noticed in your son that very early on was like, maybe we need to get him checked out to find out that ultimately he had asthma? So what are symptoms that parents or people should look for to say that possibly it could be asthma? Give me some symptoms people should be aware of.
Yeah, it's one thing is heavy breathing or wheezing. When your child is breathing, you can hear wheezing in their breathing. Shortness of breath. If they take a couple of steps or walk a little ways and the real short of breath, breathing hard. But my biggest thing is to get your child checked out, and I encourage every parent to get their child looked at, get an asthma test done. Like we were there this couple of weekends ago. We had our golf outing, and we had our asthma awareness day where we had a day of free testing. Had people come out and get tested. It was free of charge. It was an asthma awareness day. We also had a lot of games and fun. A couple of friends of mine came in. We signed autographs, and we'll be doing that annually in the Vegas area, and it'll normally be in the month of April where we have our golf outing and our asthma awareness day.
Well, when you come to Vegas for that golf outing, I know a guy who's experienced in emceeing and hosting golf events. I mean, I don't know, somebody that Rick could probably give you a testimonial on.
No doubt.
He's only sitting to his left to make it real easy for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's Aaron.
No doubt.
So you got to promote yourself.
Not only can he motivate people, he's also a pretty decent golfer too, from what I hear.
No, I've seen him on. That's right. I've seen him. Exactly. I've seen him throw
I'm gonna have
those.
to get him out there on his own ball. Where he ain't got no help, and see what he can do then.
Well, one thing, Ickey, I lost the ball in the woods one time, but I found it up near the green. So
no doubt.
I know how to drop a ball, baby.
Oh, yeah, I know that one too. I know that trick too, right?
Tell me, the problem is he uses Denver Broncos orange golf balls, and everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, them. Well, them ain't hard to find now. There ain't many of them out there.
And they're all mine.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
We have a friend in the chat room who was very excited to learn of you coming on today. Her name is Billy Ball. Lives down in Texas. Her and her husband are, right now, they have their own CBD company down there. And she has a comment in there, which I'd love for you to address. She says, she's thinking back to some research that they had done on CBD and cannabis for asthma. Any advancements or knowledge of how CBD and stuff can help and aid asthma?
I know I don't have any knowledge on that, but we're always open to listening to whatever somebody got to say, and if it can be backed up medically, then we'll definitely take a look at it. Anything that can help.
Billy, I just opened the door for you, but our producer, John, raised his hand when I asked that question. John, take it away.
Okay, a couple of years back, we had a doctor here on the show as a guest, and he had worked in cannabis for years and years and years. Now, this was back before it became legal in the state of Nevada. So some of you know, some of you don't. I basically had part of my lung taken out. And this doctor had told me that I should smoke 1 or 2 hits of weed every other day. And I said, well, don't you mean like ingest a gummy? Or he said, no. He said the cannabis will
Open up the airways.
it stimulates
Right.
the things in your lungs,
The
and
airways.
it will help you. So
Did it help?
I have not done it.
Well,
You know,
okay.
listen,
Well-
I smoked up weed back in the 60s and
Yeah.
70s. But I should still have the interface. But every
Right.
time I start having a little trouble breathing, I think I gotta go find a joint.
Yeah. Well, John,
So just this, I mean, our bodies have
receptors.
Not only are your airways open up, you're feeling good too, huh?
Well, here's the thing about it, John, what you're talking about. I've done a lot of research, man, as far as cannabis is concerned,
Me too.
because I was really, really curious about what it does and what its effects. And all the terpenes, see, a lot of folks, Ickey, what they don't do is they don't do their research. They don't go and ask questions of people who are masters in this thing. And I did when I was diagnosed with leukemia, right? And so the thing about it, you have all of these compounds, these terpenes that are in different types of marijuana. And pinene is one of the ones that help open up the airways in your lungs and that whole deal. So that breathe in that whole deal. So you have some, and the thing about it, the medical folks, man, have been knowing about, and even our government been knowing about the medical aspect of marijuana since 1941.
Now, George may have some. Now, George with True IQ, and actually Billy also puts in here. It's a wonderful bronchodilator. What's your knowledge as far as that through True IQ as to whether it's something? It sounds like it can help.
It can, yeah, from
to
what
some
I
degree.
understand, well, again, throughout history and since the beginning of time, marijuana has been a reliever for pain reliever and stuff like that. Asthma, I'm not so sure, but there's products, CBD products out there. We have a product called CBD-X4, and we have heard that some people with certain issues breathing put a little bit under their tongue, and over time, they seem to, it opens up the airways a little bit. But again, we're not doctors, so it's hard to.
You didn't stay at Ickey's house last night to be a doctor
Right,
today?
I didn't stay at the condominium to get that. I mean, I'm seasoned with marijuana, but I know that it treats a lot of things. But like John mentioned, I can see where he might be, where the smoke might, it helps open it up the lungs and those little prickly things on your lungs that look like little hairs.
Cilia.
You're right. That's the receptors.
There's more hair inside than on my head.
Right. So, and I was going to ask you too, Ickey, if there's other treatments like or breathing exercises that they have for someone with asthma, if that is possible.
Yeah, they do. They do have breathing exercise. They even have a little manual that you can get that'll help you through some breathing exercises. I know we've done a lot of work with Children's Hospital, and they encourage you to do breathing exercise to strengthen your lungs.
Right.
Absolutely.
We're going to step aside for a quick break, Ickey. So hang tight, because when we come back,
Yep.
I want to talk about the organ donation side and what your son did after everything happened and why you're interested in that as well. Everybody, you're watching the Roundtable. We're Aaron, Rick, and George, but more importantly, we have the Ickey Woods, former UNLV running rebel, here talking about his son's foundation named after his son, the Javante Woods Foundation. We'll be right back right after this. Ickey says so, to stay tuned.
Hey. My name is Ickey Woods, former NFL star, and I lost my son to asthma. Right after Javante's death, my family and I started the Javante Woods Foundation.
At Javante Woods Foundation, we are determined to spread the word on behalf of Javante. We need your help to continue research and fight asthma from every angle.
Every breath counts.
Please share this video.
Hey everybody, I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDBTV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
I'm in.
All right, welcome back. I got Doctors of Weed here sitting next to me. I'm Aaron Phillips with Rick Upchurch and the mouth George Michaels. For more importantly, there on the screen is one Ickey Woods and
the grandbabies. Is that the grandbabies?
Is that his agent back there?
Yeah. That's my little clan right there.
I know that's right. Hey,
Hi, everybody.
You saying hi? You saying hi?
We're gonna take over the show for you.
Hey, you know what? Let him. We'll leave.
Yeah, Paul sitting up in here babysitting a little bit.
That's
Right,
all right.
that's
That's all right.
We are a family show, so it's absolutely fine.
So far.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, so far, we have Ickey Woods joining us. Woods Foundation, named after his son, who unfortunately lost his life after a severe asthma attack some 12 years ago. JavanteWoodsFoundation.org. Now, you have a threefold mission. We talked about one of them, and that is the education. You talked about that earlier, where you go around, free asthma checks and get information out there. You also do scholarships, right? Grade point
Yes.
3.8 or higher. Is that right?
Yes, that's called a 3.8 to be great scholarship. Javante was a scholar, and was a straight A student. And so we wanted to honor that and give away scholarships to kids who not only suffered with asthma, but also had a 3.8 grade, 3.8 GPA to qualify for the scholarship.
Right on. And I'm presuming that's where obviously some of the fundraising goes to fund those scholarships as well.
Yes.
Okay. The last part, which is a part I really want to kind of spend some extra time on, is about organ donation. And if I may, I'm reading this right off the website. So,
Okay, that's great.
The way you wrote it. So, organ donation is part of the tragedy of losing their child. Ickey and Chandra honored the wish of their young son Javante and donated his organs. Unbeknownst to his parents, Javante had checked the organ donation box on his driver's license. He saved 4 lives and helped countless others through tissue donation. And you guys work with local schools and communities, educating people on the importance of organ donation. I guess.
Hey guys, hey, you on the phone? Quiet down. He had, unbeknownst to me and his mom, he had checked yes on his driving permit. Now we were in the hospital 3 days, and the whole 3 days we were in the hospital, I hadn't seen these ladies, and when they pronounced my son brain dead, they took me, his mom, into a room with the doctor and the chaplain, and then there was 2 ladies that was there that we hadn't seen before, and those ladies were from Life Center. Mm-hmm. And the doctor introduced the ladies from Life Center, and they started giving me their condolences and everything. And I told them later, I said, hey, listen, I don't even want to hear that. What do you want? And then so the ladies told us that he had checked yes on his driver permit that he wanted to be an organ donor. And immediately it went off in my head that they said that they was getting ready to take my baby's organs. So immediately I went off, and man, I cursed these ladies all upside and down, man. I was, I look back on it now, man, I'm so embarrassed at what I did to them ladies, man. But they called me at a time where I just lost my baby, and then they came in and talked about taking his organs, and they were like, no, Mr. Woods, we're not talking about taking your son's organs. We just wanted to let you know that he checked yes on his driving permit that he wanted to be an organ donor. And so I said, well, let me see, where he signed that he wanted to be an organ donor. Because, me and my son, he was a real decent football player. So we were working on his autograph anyway. So I said, well, let me see where he signed that he wanted to be an organ donor and see if it was his signature, because I knew what his signature looked like. And sure enough, they showed me where he had signed, and sure enough, it was definitely his signature. And so I turned to my ex-wife and I said, "Did you know anything about this?" She was like, "Hey, shh." She was like, "No, I didn't know anything about it. We had talked about it, but I didn't know he had checked yes on his driver permit that he wanted to be an organ donor." And so I said, well, she asked me, "Well, what you want to do?" I said, "Well, I don't know what to do." I said, "Well, won't we do what he wanted to do? Let's let him be an organ donor." And with that, he was able to save 4 lives and help countless others with his tissue. So we're very proud of that.
It's a legacy for sure. And now I would presume that, and I don't know if anybody knows this, that as shocking as it was to find out that he was an organ donor, I believe there's a certain amount of time after a body passes that organs and tissues are even available.
Right.
And so I'm sure within a certain time frame, these individuals have the unenvious task of approaching families as those 2 unlucky did that day to talk to you guys about it. And I'm sure 100 out of 100 people like you reacted to it. Everybody reacts that way.
Yeah. Now, and when I finally realized what the ladies were saying to me, I apologized to them, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Woods, don't worry about it. That's the reaction that we always get, because we know we're catching you guys at a real vulnerable time." Right. And but we wanted to let you know that he did sign that he wanted to be an organ donor, but it's up to you and his mom to decide whether you guys are going to donate his organs. And so we did, and we're happy we did. We received letters from the recipients thanking us for letting him be an organ donor, and thanking us for helping them their lives continue on. And we hopefully one day we'll get to meet these people. That's what our ultimate goal is, to be able to meet the people who did get his organs.
I don't know, George, I don't know about how those ladies felt walking in to see Ickey, but remember, Ickey played, or as he came out of college, he was 6'2", 232 pounds. Right. And if I walked in and I saw a guy in that build getting pissed off about anything, I would have left. Right. I don't know how those ladies see a guy at that stature.
Well, at that point, I was a little heavier, man. So I was probably almost about 300, so I was a big guy, and
Well, I would have hated to seen you do the Ickey shuffle on those guys.
Oh yeah,
that'd have been a big time dance there, man.
Well, it sounds like Jonathan was wise beyond his years to check that box for whatever reason.
Yeah, and that's the amazing part is who'd ever thought a 16-year-old kid would have it in his being to check that he wanted to be an organ donator at 16, and that's just what he was, man. He was selfless. He didn't think about himself, and I learned a lot when we had his out. And don't come back in here.
He's talking to you, George.
Yeah, he might be.
We learned a lot when we had his funeral service from some of the kids who he went to school with, what type of kid he was, and he always looked after everybody. And when he went to football camps, the coaches were in awe of him because he would get everybody involved on his team. He looked out for everybody, made sure everybody got to be a part of what was going on that day. And it was just amazing to hear some of the stories that other people seen him do, and you wasn't there to witness it, but other people were able to tell you some of the things that he did, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Ickey, it's that spirit that he had, man. That spirit,
Yeah,
that good spirit that he had. And a lot of folks don't have that type of spirit. Like you said,
no doubt.
being selfless and everything. And like you said, at that age, to be able to think that way. And we've been around a lot of kids. A lot of the kids don't even think about none of that stuff.
No, not at that age anyway. They're not even considering organ donation, and none of them really have organ donation checked on their driver's license, let alone driving permit.
That's right.
And that's what we try to do, is we try to go around and encourage some of these young kids to, be an organ donor as well, because you can't take it with you. You might as well leave it here to do some good.
That's right. That's right, Ed.
George?
Do you still stay in touch with some of Javante's friends that he grew up with? Do you still?
Yeah. Some of the kids that he grew up with, man. Kids that he played little league with. Kids that he played. Because I used to run a youth organization too. So a lot of the kids who was in my organization was the kids that he played with. So I'm Coach Ickey to them, and I get to see them live their lives and grow up and have kids, and we still get together for family events and things like that, man. So it's wonderful to see those my young boys grow into men.
I think that's fantastic.
I was kind of surprised to hear, though, that normally with organ donations, recipients and the donator's family, generally they're anonymous because of HIPAA and stuff. So I'm kind of surprised to have learned that you were able to contact or communicate with the folks that benefited from your son's decision. What was that? I guess I'm surprised by that. I mean, generally.
Well, we were able to get letters from them. We wasn't able to actually talk to them or anything like that.
Okay.
So we were able to get letters, but there, if both parties agree, from what I understand, there's nothing that can't keep those families from meeting each other.
Gotcha.
Ick, I saw those other youngins right there, the next generation of Woods and that whole deal. That was
Yeah, no doubt, man. That next generation, man, they're a little better than that generation before them, man. These grandbabies, man, they something else, boy. Ooh-wee. But I love them to death, because I can go out and have the worst day that I ever have, and I come home and I'm loved. They jump on me, pop all this, pop all that, pop all this. So I come home and I still feel I'm loved,
Ickey, I'm sure on the monitor or the visual, are you able to see the message that's on the screen right now? The comment by Billy?
Okay, yeah, I can see it now.
First of all, she said, "What a wonderful young man you raised with the heart." But if you read that message, it's on the screen now, you probably get a good laugh about it. For those who are listening, Ickey used to make big-ass men take no shoes. Those grandchildren don't give a flying fart. That's the word she used. Who he is.
Hey, and she is definitely correct. They don't care who Pawpaw is. They run Pawpaw in the dirt. But I love them to death, though.
But have you had them check? Have you had them check as far as asthma's concerned, or if they're vulnerable?
Oh yeah. They've been checked. None of them have asthma as of now. So the youngest one, they have to be at least 2 before they can be diagnosed. So the youngest 2 is they're getting to that age now. He's almost 3, so we'll have him tested. The 2 youngest have not been tested, but the other ones have.
Ick, when I read up on asthma and doing my research in that deal, I was looking at all the different ways that asthma can be triggered: lightning, dust storms, pollen, roaches.
Man, it is crazy.
It is crazy. Mold.
It is.
All of that type of stuff, man, can set asthma off. And you're sitting around saying, what is going on? Why is this happening?
Now said, you gave a couple of reasons there that could set it off that would be similar to people suffering from an allergy, a normal allergy.
Yeah.
People have to
That's true too. Yeah.
An allergic reaction, or is it something more?
That's right.
That's a great point.
That's right.
But you
No
mentioned
doubt.
lightning. What? Now I'm not sure. How does that trigger an asthma attack with lightning? I'm just curious about. I've never heard that.
It's the electrons in the air.
Yeah, and it scares you half to death. You get scared. You get scared and you go to breathing.
Shuffle.
I was going to say, is that how the Ickey shuffle was born back in the day?
Right.
Before we go to that's too funny.
It is.
We got to clip that. That's got to be on our year-end.
I love it.
Before we go to break, you have a big fundraiser coming up on June 18th through the 24th called Cruise for a Cure. The foundation, Celebrity and Friends are offering a 6-night all-inclusive cruise on Celebrity. It's going to go out of Florida to Grand Cayman, Cozumel, Bimini Islands.
Wow.
Booking a cabin will donate to help find a cure. If you need a couple of people to carry your luggage, we're there for you. Not only will you enjoy the lowest cruise price,
no doubt. This is our first official cruise. We're putting together. We're getting this done, and then we'll make that an annual thing every year to do the cruise as well. We'll have some celebrity guys on there. I know right now I got Reginald Ballard. If you ever watch Martin, he's Brum Man on Martin. The Martin Show, we got him. We got Yancey Thigpen, Ernie Mills, Solomon Wilcox, Eric Thomas. So we got some nice celebrities going to be on the cruise. We're going to have a great time, and can't wait to go. And if you want to get on there, go on our website, get yourself registered, and come on and have some fun with us. We're going to have a great time. Like I said, this is going to be our first of many, but this is actually our first annual.
Well, my wife and I took our first cruise in 34 years of marriage a few months ago. I'll be ready for the next one.
Yes, sir.
The website is the JovanteWoodsFoundation.org. Now, if somebody wants to reach you direct, what's the best way anybody can reach you?
If you want to reach me direct, you can probably call on my cell, which is 513-236-2886. And I suggest that you text me first because I have Robo Killer on my phone. And if you don't know the number, it's going to kick you out. So either that.
After you and I chatted the other day, you didn't save my number. I tried calling you before I got the Robo Killer again.
And it kicked you right on out too. But now you can call me.
I have it too.
Now you can call me and get through. I got you locked in now. And also you're gonna reach me at Ickey, ICKEY at JovanteWoodsFoundation.org. Motherfucker scammers piss me off too. That's why I got Robo Killer.
Billy Ball down in Texas is one of the
She's hilarious.
She is one of the sweetest, greatest people you'd ever want to meet. We have a lot of fun with her when she's with us. So this is
good.
Her humor. So I know you're laughing. Just know that's who she is. She's a great person.
Yes,
I'm just agreeing with her because they kill me too. I hate them scammers and those
robocalls.
Right.
them robocalls too, man. They're killers too.
Yes, they
so
are.
that's why I got the Robo Killer on there. So
me too, brother.
Them scammers and them robocalls can't get through.
When I get those numbers, I type in spoofer or spam, and then when it pops up spoofer, I know, or spam.
Mine says Samuel. Mine they hear Samuel L. Jackson's voice. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to take our last break of the show, so we have some fun with you afterwards. You're watching the Roundtable with Ickey Woods is in the house.
Hey.
Yeah.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss, and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome back. We got a very quick countdown on this side.
Well, you didn't lost over 200 pounds, did you, eh?
Oh, you saw the commercial. Yeah, well,
I seen that commercial, bro. That's very impressive, my man. Very impressive.
Thank you, sir. It means a lot coming from you, sir. It really does. I had to get healthy. Otherwise, I'd been in a whole heap of trouble, my friend.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, brother. No doubt.
And he has a great book that he wrote. I have it, and he autographed it for me, and I've read it. Ickey, if you get an opportunity to get his book or whatever, boy, it's really inspirational, man. It really.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to definitely get that. Just go online and get one.
You can do that through Amazon, but not autographed. So if you send me a mailing address, I'll send one personally autographed to you, and I'd be honored.
That's what we're looking for. Then I want an autograph one.
So you get me that, and I'll be more than I'll be honored to send you one on courtesy of you as a thank you. So
I appreciate that, sir.
If anybody else wants one, you better call me. They're $20 live and $6.99 Amazon. Ickey's getting a very special.
Okay, no doubt.
Anyway, you had a question while we were on break.
Really, I was going to ask Ickey before we go into the fun stuff. Some of the players that are on your cruise, have they had asthma? Are they familiar with it? Or do any of your teammates at the time you played, was there any player you had played with that had attack?
Well, excuse me. He wasn't a teammate, but he was a competitor, Jerome Bettis.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up with a touch of asthma. And there's a few other guys who play the sport who has asthma. So when we first started the foundation, Jerome came out and he was our keynote speaker at our first gala.
Wow, that's cool. I was just curious how a professional athlete would handle the situation if, God forbid, they had an asthma attack while they were actually on the field or on the court. I didn't know if they have any special.
Well, nowadays with the technology they got, as we've seen in the Cincinnati versus Buffalo game when the kid went into cardiac arrest and actually died on the field, and they brought him back to life. So the medical aspect of it, especially at that level, is a lot better, and they're well equipped to handle pretty much anything. Anything you can think of, they can handle on the field with their medical staff.
Well, that's good to know.
The guys from the leather helmet days would not have had that kind of luxury. That's for darn sure.
Man, leave me alone.
No, sir.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. There you go. Talking about our leather helmets. Leave me alone, dog.
Listen, I don't see the point fingers here, Rick. But
hey, that's why my nose is flat.
Get me on the phone. Get out of here, please. While I'm on the phone.
Before the cops.
That's true.
Well,
that's very true. Yeah, I don't know if you heard what our producer said, Ickey. He said the leather helmets came before the athletic cups. Why did that happen?
Yeah, they did, and why that happened, I don't know, because they both were crown jewels, but the ones down at the bottom are more crowned than the one on top.
Hey, Ickey, I'm gonna tell you this. I got hit in the head enough, but the time that they grabbed me by the anyway, man, I went down quickly.
Oh, it went down quickly, right? You get hit in the head, you can get back up, boy. They hit you down there. It's gonna take you a while to get up from that one now.
If you got hit in the crown jewels, they would have just said rub some dirt on it and get the hell back
That's
in the
right.
game.
That's right.
Well, back in the day, that's what they did.
In your case, they would have said grab some turf and rub it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
George, I know you want to ask the burning question about the invention of said dance steps.
Yeah, I did. I've read stuff over the years about you, but the actual moment when you invented the Ickey Shuffle, was it high school, college? Because I saw you. I came to Vegas.
No, it was actually when I got to the NFL, man. I had all growing up, I going through Pop Warner, high school, college. Every time before I hit those levels, guys were celebrating when they scored a touchdown. But when I get there, they cut celebration out. They cut celebration out in Pop Warner, in high school, and in college. And so when I got to the NFL, I decided that I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what. So I flew my mom in for a game against the Cleveland Browns, and me and my two oldest kids at the time, I was playing some music, and we were up at the Silly, and I was like, Mom, if I score tomorrow, this is what I'm going to do. She's like, boy, you bet not do that. You bet not do that. I said, I got to, Mom, I got to. So it started off where I just jumped in the air and put my hands in between my legs like that. And then Ricky Dixon, who was our first round draft choice the year that I came in, he was the first round, I was the second round. And he's like, Woods, what was that? I was like, man, that was my celebration dance. He was like, man, that itch was whack, man. That was whack. I was like, what you mean that was whack, Rick? You think I ought to put some steps to it? He was like, yeah, put some steps to it, Woods. I said, all right, so the whole week, we're getting ready to go out and play the New York Jets. Whole week I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I do? Couldn't think of nothing. Then 5 minutes before it was time to go out and get warmed up, it just hit me. I said, Rick, check this out. This is what I'm going to do if I score today. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3 back to the right, and I'm going to hop back 3 times to spike the ball. He was like, oh, yeah, man, that's going to be live. That's going to be live. So I just tell everybody, man, I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. We were winning ball games, and we made it to the Super Bowl that year. So fortunately enough, it caught on. And, only by the grace of God that I'm still known for it to this day. And every now and again, get a few chips for doing it,
There you go, baby.
Players doing the Ickey show when they score, or the primetime Dion. Those are the two dances that have survived the last 30 years.
I know that's right.
I think it's awesome.
Did you have a celebration? You had to have had a celebration.
My celebration just holding the ball up because I didn't want to stir up the waters, man. them shots out there like to bite people.
I played a couple touchdowns with Rick when he was like this.
My mouth shut and I was real quiet, bro. Believe me.
Oh yeah.
You probably had no oxygen left to dance when you ran those 60-yard returns or something.
Right. Hit them balls. He trying to get to the sideline, and get that oxygen, man.
Especially in Denver, huh?
Especially up there, Mile High,
That's it.
That was our secret weapon, Nick. We were like guys over there fighting for the air, man.
Right.
Billy says,
you have to be ready to go to Mile High, man, because that's what it was, Mile High, I tell you.
Billy says Ickey let his soul glow when he danced.
He sure did.
That's what it was. And
Thank you, Billy. We appreciate that. I just tried to have fun. My whole thing was getting our fans involved and having fun, because I didn't do it outside of the jungle. I only did it in the jungle. I only did it when we was at home, so right. It was something for our fans, get them rocking, because one thing happened when I danced. I had to score the dance, so we were definitely putting points on the board when I did dance.
That's right.
Well, it worked.
Absolutely.
It worked.
Well,
That's
I
for
just
sure.
want to remind everybody in 1988, the year that you came out, you were a 1,000-yard rusher. You had a career where the door looked like,
Wait, but where did he go to school?
he went to UNL.
UNL.
Hey, baby, hey,
Yeah.
running rebels, baby, running rebels.
Hello.
Woo-woo.
He was the second pick, the second round, number 31 overall. And now we could say that Ickey Woods has now been a guest on the Roundtable. But that brings me to one thing about Vegas. You touched on Vegas earlier. I'm going to say on a limb, when you do stuff out here, dude, you got 3 guys that are going to support you and want to help you when you're here locally in Vegas. I can also say, and I say this with all sincerity, we travel. If you need us to go anywhere where you have an event to support, I know I'm speaking for these guys comfortably. We're there for you, especially at least when you come here. And we want to
I
be.
appreciate that.
I would love the Roundtable to be an anchor part of. Well, I shouldn't say I. We should be and will be an anchor part of whatever you're doing out here to promote the cause.
That's right.
And so,
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
please reach out to us.
I most definitely will.
And it's been an honor for, well, George and I, at least, we know you know this guy, so I'm not worried about honoring with him.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But for George and I, it's been an honor to chat with you in general, but to have such a worthy cause to talk around, it's been an honor. George?
Yo, when Rick said he knew you, I said, "What the fuck? Get Ickey out! Get him out here!" Yeah, I said, "What the hell?"
That's right.
Well,
No, hey, Big George, you ain't got to cuss. You ain't got to cuss him out, man. Don't cuss him out.
hey man, I'm really allergic to cussing. That's for sure. I start doing things, man, when people cussing.
They have CBD for that. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
they got.
Anyway,
That shit works for them.
I don't know.
I'm not sure we can be friends.
That's right. Anyway, Ickey, again, are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah, I like Star Wars. Yeah. Mhm.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, what he said.
May it be. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Appreciate it.
May the 4th be with you. And just a special shout out. Today is my wife's birthday. Eileen, happy birthday, babe. I'll be home soon
Happy birthday.
I don't know what, because I'll probably beat you home anyway. All right. Ickey, again, sir, thank you so very
Thank
much.
you, sir, man.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I definitely appreciate it. And thank you for all the love and respect, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Ick, we got
do
you,
this.
baby.
We'll do this again in the future. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching the Roundtable. George, closing comments. We're down to 15 seconds.
Like I always say, guys, keep your head above water. I know it's rough out there. Just keep waking up every day and keep living your life and do the right thing.
Mr. Upchurch.
Folks, go get your kids checked out. Make sure that they're breathing well and they don't have asthma.
There you go. JavanteWoodsFoundation.org. As I always like to say, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all have. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. at Kiwanis Connects. Have a great week, everybody. Once again, thank you, Ickey. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Ick.
See ya.
All right, man. Y'all be good.